90.9 The Vine, in conjunction with AreaSports.net, proudly presents The Sports Couch. The Sports Couch is 60 minutes of great local sports talk each and every Saturday morning as we visit with area coaches, athletes, and other media personnel to cover the area sports that's most important to you. Who will be on the couch this morning? Let's find out. The Sports Couch is on the air right now. And hello again, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Couch here on a Saturday morning. It's a beautiful day here in Southern Illinois. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio. Danny is out on the combine today. Yep, it's that time of year. Harvest season is upon us, and Danny's out trying to get those crops out of the field, so we wish him luck and safety out there as he does that. A lot of farmers are trying to get that done before the next wave of rain comes in. But we've got a lot of great guests on the show with us this morning. We're going to talk football, volleyball, and cross country today. We're going to have Coach Justin Townsend of the Fairfield Mules on with us in just a moment. They got a big win last night. We'll also talk to Coach John Shadowens of Sesterville as they remain undefeated on the season at 4-0 with a win last night. So we'll talk to both of those coaches who are at the top of the Black Diamond Conference standings. We'll also talk cross country with Coach Clint Turner of the Mount Vernon Rams. They're on the road today at a cross country meet in Olney, so we'll check in with Coach Turner direct from Olney this morning. And we'll also talk to volleyball coach Jason Hall from the Hamilton County Lady Foxes, as Coach Hall picked up his 200th career victory this past week and a clear blemish. No blemishes at all on the record volleyball-wise for the Lady Foxes this week. We'll talk about how the season's been going so far and catch up with him on a lot of other things as well. So much to get to this morning here on this edition of the Sports Couch. Taking a look at high school football scores around the area last night in the Black Diamond Conference, Fairfield improved to 4-0 on the season as they shut out Hamilton County 44-0. Meanwhile, El Dorado edged Carmi 16-14. The Eagles are now 3-1. Edwards County also improved to 3-1 with a 56-14 win at Christopher. Sesterville remains undefeated in the conference. They are 4-0. They beat Johnson City last night 26-12. And today in the conference, it'll be Chester playing at Vienna. South 7 Conference action kicked off last night. Belleville-Altough won their first game of the year at Mount Vernon, shutting out the Rams 41-0. Both teams are now 1-3. Cahokia improved to 3-1 on the season. They won at Marion 24-14. Carbondale improved to 4-0 on the year. They beat Centralia last night in a wild one 33-26. In the River to River Conference last night, DuQuoin remained undefeated. They shut out Carterville 41-0. The surprise of the conference, though, is probably the West Frankfort Redbirds. They beat Harrisburg last night handily. Redbirds win at 42-7. West Frankfort's 4-0 for the first time in 14 seasons. And Jonesboro over Nashville last night, 37-14. That's the first loss of the year for Nashville. Pinckneyville over Sparta, 28-18. Heron all over Benton, 49-7. And Murfreesboro beat Massac County, 42-0. Little Illini Conference last night, it was Casey Westfield all over Flora, 42-8. Newton beat Lawrenceville 56-8. Marshall remained undefeated. They beat Robinson 35-16. And a battle between two unbeaten teams will take place today in the Little Illini as Red Hill will travel to Paris. In the Mississippi Valley Conference, Highland seems to be the stud as the Bulldogs blew out Jerseyville last night, 68-21. Highlands 4-0. Mascoutah over Waterloo, 47-7. Triad got their first win of the season. They beat Bethalto last night, 29-7. In the Apollo Conference, it was Effingham all over Lincoln, 36-0. Mattoon beat Charleston, 36-24. Taylorville beat Mahomet Seymour, 38-26. And in a non-conference game, Mount Zion shut out Macomb 55-0. In the Cahokia Conference, big upset for the Salem Wildcats last night. They shut out Redbud 21-0. Bree Central over Carlisle 43-22. Columbia beat Trenton Westland 40-13. And in the South Central Conference last night, it was Greenville over Piasaw Western 45-6. Vandalia shut out Litchfield 62-0. Carlinville beat Pana 49-12. That's the first loss of the season for Pana. Meanwhile, Carlinville's 4-0. Staunton over Hillsboro 20-14. And a couple of independents last night. Mount Carmel beat Olney 49-23 in a battle of former NEC teams. And Breeze Mater Dei beat Freeburg last night in a non-conference game 56-28. So that's a look at the area football scores from last night. Of course, you can check those on our sports website at AreaSports.net. As we mentioned, the Mules remain undefeated on the season. They beat Hamilton County last night 44-0. They're 4-0 now in the Black Diamond, and joining us is head coach Justin Townsend of the Mules. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, guys.
Hey, you got to be excited about another win last night for Fairfield, and obviously your defense played very well. You not only shut out the Foxes 44-0, but I think you limited them to 5 first downs for the entire game, did you not?
Yeah, our defense played really well last night. I think we held them to around 120 yards in total offense. Our offense had over 500. And, we did some things early. We had some couple of fumbles, threw an interception. I give Hamilton County a lot of credit. They played us tough early, created some adversity for our kids, and just can't say enough how they responded. Really challenged them at halftime and how they came out and responded in the second half, and just really played a great third quarter and kind of finished off the Foxes and get to 4-0. We're feeling pretty good about things. Our defense is really starting to play. Our offense is starting to hit on all cylinders as long as we take care of the football. And, we're right where we need to be, going into Week 5 rivalry week with Carmi.
Yeah, you mentioned the Carmi Bulldogs, and, they lost a tough one last night to El Dorado, 16-14. Would like to have seen that game probably.
Yeah, and I've already watched the film. I've already seen it today. I was
Okay.
watching it. I was watching it last night about 11 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Carmi went to the double wing offense, similar to what we run, and really controlled the clock, grinded out yardage, and it kept them in the game. And actually, El Dorado Carmi was ahead 6-0 with about 37 seconds I think to go in the second quarter. And El Dorado actually drove down and scored right before the half, and was up 8-6 going in, and was able to hold on in the second half, 16-14. So, it's kind of hard if if you're sitting back and you're just trying to look at scores and try to figure out who's good and who's not good in our conference. You can't do it this year. I mean, I think every week you have a head scratcher, like you're kind of wondering what's going on. And in my honest opinion is, some of those teams that maybe they thought were going to be at the bottom are starting to get better each week. And, I look at Johnston City as another prime example. Edwards County's probably having their best year in, 15 years. I don't know. So, I mean, it's going to get real interesting here down the stretch. And, 4 of our next 5 games, 4 of our last 5 are on the road. So, and we're playing a lot of these teams I'm talking about that, we're going to be trying to get in the playoffs, Vienna, Edwards County, Carmi, and then obviously Carmi and Cesar. So 4-0 is great, but we also know what we got coming. So we're just going to continue to take one week at a time.
Yeah, the Mules are 4-0, Cesar Valier's 4-0, Edwards County and El Dorado both sitting at 3-1, and a big game today down at Vienna. Chester playing at Vienna today. That's a big game for both of those teams.
Absolutely, and it's going to be two contrasting styles. Chester likes to throw that football around a little bit, but they're big and physical and athletic. And Vienna's going to try to pound that ball and try to keep it out of their hands. So, I'm sure Coach Rude will have them prepped and ready. And I think he, coming off last week losing to Johnston City, I think they got to feel like that's probably a must-win for them. So it'll be interesting.
Well, last night was your second home game with the new improved facilities that you have there, and I'm sure if there was any problems in week 1 at all, any quirks, I'm sure you got those worked out, and last night was probably super smooth, I imagine. Huh?
Yeah, I think everything went pretty smoothly. We got had a lot of things going on in Fairfield last night.
Yeah.
We had Fall Fun Fest
Right.
going on. Last night was the Greg Edwards Shriners Memorial Game last night at the high school, so we had a great crowd. Vince Fisher was back for it. I think the 82 or 83 class reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a pretty cool environment last night, and we had 11:45 dismissal that day, and I don't just our kids came out a little flat, and I think they would tell you that too. And it just took us a little bit to get going, and we were very upfront with them that that's just not going to get it done moving forward, And we knew that the front 7 for Hamilton County was pretty good. They got a couple of nice D linemen. I think number 57, the Cole Glazier kid's a pretty good D lineman for them, and created some problems for us. And we had some missed assignments. And if we would have had a game like last week with Christopher, where we just really couldn't get a gauge if we were doing what we needed to, it wouldn't have done us any good last night. But to play somebody that prepped for us and scouted us and did some things that made our kids have to think and kind of think on the fly and respond, that was good for us. That's going to help us in the long run. And we got some legitimate film that we can sit down and evaluate kids and say, hey, this is the way that we need to do this, and this is the way we need to react to this. It's going to help us moving forward. But we played a much better third quarter.
Well, you mentioned the slow start last night. Yeah, you're right. The Mules were only up 6-0 after the first quarter, and probably some people around Southern Illinois were scratching their head wondering why the game was so close early on. But, yeah, it didn't take long in that second half for you to get the motor going.
No, and, like I said, we had 2 fumbles in the first half. We had an interception in the end zone. Most of the, I know 2 of the 3 turnovers were, if not in the red zone, close to the red zone. So we were moving the football. We were having problems punching it in. And on the flip side, we created some turnovers too. Our defense continued to play well. Reese Lee had another interception last night. He has 4 on the year. Dylan Hefner had nearly 200 yards rushing, and it was all between the tackles. He did an excellent job. Reese White Gilbert had over 100 yards rushing. Reese Lee was close to 100. Alec Pruitt was close to 100 yards throwing last night. We had some other guys step in and do a great job for us. Taylor did a great job at the slot position for us, and Landon Zerlini came in, had a big catch for us, a couple of nice blocks. And, it took us a little bit. We had to get in the gun. We changed things up a little bit. We felt like we needed to get going a little bit. And that really helped us, too. And I think that's something that, down the road that we're going to be able to go to. And if, we got some guys, we do have quite a few guys playing both ways. Not as much maybe as the other teams in the Black Diamond. But we were able to go into something like that, our gun set, and get some of those guys out and get them a little breather because it was pretty humid and warm last night. So that was another advantage that we felt like we could utilize last night, and we did.
Well, you mentioned Pruitt throwing for almost 100 yards last night from the quarterback position, and that's big because a lot of people look at the Mules and they think, they're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball, almost all the time. Well, no, you proved last night you can throw the ball effectively too, including a touchdown pass.
Yeah, we can do that, and we feel like we can stretch the field. We can make teams not only defend us sideline to sideline, but vertically too, and that I think it's just something that we have to do. It's a point of emphasis for us this year. Not just in the Black Diamond Conference to be able to do that, not be so one-dimensional, but come playoff time, we need to be able to do some different things because at that point in the season, you're going to play. Every team you play is a good team. And they're going to be able to take your 1 or 2 things away that you like to do, and you're going to have to be able to go to something else. And that's kind of the game plan. And we've kind of made it a point to make sure that we're working on that, and not just something that we're saving in our back pocket for something. We just feel like it's important to get game reps and utilize it, and not only so that the kids get confident, and I want to feel good about it, and so it's really coming along, and Alex is doing a great job. I mean, you can't, ever underestimate how important it is to have a quarterback that's a senior that started all year as a junior, multi-sport athlete. He's the catcher for the baseball team. That they're pretty good too, and he's so he's kind of like the quarterback of the baseball team too. And so that's all that stuff plays into how well he's been playing up to this point.
Well, so far the Mules have scored 206 points offensively and given up 40 points on the season in 4 games. That's an average of 10 points a game. What concerns you the most about the Carmi Bulldogs as you look at next week's game?
Well, I've seen 2 or 3 films on them, and they want to run the football, but they're trying to do it a lot of different ways, whether it's T, power I. I mentioned the double wing. I've seen single wing at them, and then they'll put Pugsley in shotgun too. So we have a lot of things that we got to prep for, and then I think they're pretty scrappy on defense. They really are. They're not afraid to hit. They're aggressive, and I think that would probably be my major concern is that we gotta weather the storm. They're going to come out fired up. They're going to come out in a must-win type situation. We're going to be on the road. we need to come out and have a little better start than we did last night, and I think our kids will respond. We're getting ready to go help with the kiddie parade here, and then we're taking the varsity football team down to SIU to watch the football game tonight. So
excellent.
We're gonna have a great day today and enjoy it and get some good team bonding. But we'll break down the film tomorrow, and then Monday we're going to get back to work, and I'm sure our kids will respond.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I hope the Salukis get a win today for you while you're down there. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck next week at Carmi, okay?
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye-bye. As Coach Justin Townsend of the Fairfield Mules, again, they moved to 4-0 on the season, and, do it both on the ground and in the air last night as they shut out Hamilton County by a score of 44-0. Again, limiting the Foxes to just 5 first downs last night. So the Mules defense has been pretty stingy. Another team that's been pretty stingy defensively has been the Cesar Red Devils. They also are 4-0 on the season, atop the standings, along with the Fairfield Mules. And you remember what happened last year. It came all the way down to Week 9 with both teams being 8-0 going into that final game at Fairfield. Could we see that again? We might. Both teams are 4-0, and guess what? They're going to play each other again in Week 9 this year. We're going to talk to Coach John Shadowens of the Cesar Red Devils coming up next as the Sports Couch continues. You keep it here with us on AreaSports.net and 90.9 The Vine. We'll be right back.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
The radio ministry of 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine appreciates the underwriting support of Guero's Mexican Restaurant in Mount Vernon. Guero's offers the finest Mexican cuisine in a pleasant and inviting atmosphere in the heart of Mount Vernon's downtown. They are open 7 days a week, 11 to 9 Sunday through Thursday, and 11 to 10 Friday and Saturday. They are located at 222 South 9th Street in Mount Vernon. You can find them on Facebook, and their phone number is 315-6369.
Sometimes you need an attorney who can look out for your interest. Located just a short drive away in Mount Vernon, Olson & Reeves offer a free consultation to discuss your needs. Everything is discreet and confidential. At Olson & Reeves, they can provide you with consultation and assistance with traffic law and DUIs, estate planning, living wills, divorce, real estate contracts, personal injury and accidents, as well as medical malpractice. Call Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law in Mount Vernon at 316-7322.
Underwriting on the Vine is provided by B&C Bicycle Fitness in Mount Vernon. B&C Bicycle Fitness specializes in bikes for the beginning rider to the high-end racer and can equip you with a comfortable bike to enjoy a healthy, active lifestyle with family and friends. B&C Bicycle Fitness is a full-service bicycle shop and is located at 410 South 27th Street in Mount Vernon. Their phone number is 816-4077. B&C Bicycle Fitness in Mount Vernon, where the adventure begins.
Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. We have live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio. Danny's out on the combine today doing the harvest thing, and so he will not be with us today. We've got some more great guests coming your way, including right now. We're going to find out what happened last night in the Cesar-Carmi game as the Red Devils remained 4-0 on the season, undefeated, as they were able to edge Carmi last night. Actually, that was El Dorado beating Carmi. I'm sorry. It was Cesar over Johnson City last night by a score of 26-12. But again, Red Devils improved to 4-0 on the season, so they share the top spot with the Fairfield Mules in the Black Diamond Conference. Coach John Shadowens is going to join us on the phone right now. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning.
Great to have you on the show, and congratulations on the win last night. You got to feel good sitting at 4-0 after 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, 4-0 is about as good as you can be right now. You're right about that. We're happy to get the win last night over a program that's really dominated us over the last 20 years.
Yeah, that's a good point. Johnson City has kind of had your number for a number of years, and boy, it's got to feel good to beat them after struggling against them for a number of years.
Absolutely. They beat us 14 out of the last 17, and we were able to get them last year at their place. And, Bob, I want to tell you something about Johnson City. They're not as talented as they were last year, but what a much better football team they were last night than they were last year. Those kids played awfully hard, and Todd Thomas has got them going in the right direction.
Well, last night, statistically, it looks like you dominated them as far as a lot of the numbers. You had 18 first downs compared to 10 for Johnson City, and it looked like you were able to move the ball pretty effectively both on the ground and in the air. Talk about it.
Yeah, it wasn't easy as it looks, Randy. We lost 3 running backs last night.
Ooh.
Our first string halfback, our second string halfback, and then even our third string. We played the second half with a wide receiver and our quarterback chipping in and playing the running back spot, and then our really good backup quarterback, Peyton May, played quarterback for us then in the second half. But it was a war of attrition last night. It's one of those fluke things where, injuries happen. You expect that, but nobody expects something like happened to us last night. It was really something to watch the kids. It built some character, I think, and some guys filled some roles last night that normally I ask not to fill. So there's a lot of good things come from that, and we're hoping we get a couple of them back.
Well, I was going to ask you, how serious are those injuries that you got last night?
Well, we fear one's a season ender to our all-conference halfback Eli Gunner. Yeah, he went for X-rays last night, and he has a broken foot. So
oh boy!
I believe that he's probably done. But we're hoping to get the other kids back. Both ankle sprains. One was pretty severe. One's a little milder. So we might get one of those kids back for next week. We'll see. But it's awful early to tell.
Yeah. Well, now that I look at the stat sheet, now I understand why you had 6 different guys carry the ball last night, and that was because of those injuries.
I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
It was a have-to situation, and kids stepped up. I mean, the kids showed character last night. And it's one of those games that kind of it's pivotal whenever something like that happens. That the kids can. We had every excuse in the world last night to say, it's just not our night, and let Johnson City, because Johnson City played so hard and they played well defensively, especially, and our kids just said, no, sir, we're going to win this ball game.
Mm-hmm. And it looked like you were able to throw the ball some last night, too. I think Basso threw for like 53 yards, I think, is what I see on the stat sheet.
Yeah, I think we had 87 total passing yards.
Okay.
Peyton Bates did for some as well.
Right.
Johnson City did a good job. They weren't going to let us do what we normally do in the passing game, which is fine. They were giving us some short stuff, and they were giving us really one hole offensively to run through. They did a great job of shutting down our base running play, and did a nice job of shutting down the middle. But we were able to find a couple of cracks and generate some offense.
Well, one thing that'll make a coach pull his hair out is penalties. It didn't look like you had much of a problem with penalties last night, only 4 penalties for 25 yards, so you got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, that's an improvement over the last couple of weeks, I'll tell you.
Uh-huh. Well, as you look at the schedule ahead, next week you play at CZR. I don't want to say that's an automatic win because nothing's an automatic win, but obviously they are struggling. And so if you had to go into a game next week with the injuries that you have, I guess it's better that you're playing somebody that maybe doesn't have as much talent this year as some of the teams you've played like last night. But still, you got to go play the game, and hopefully you can get these guys healed up and get them back.
That's exactly it. We'll play who's next on our schedule, and it's CZR, and it's a rivalry game, and a lot of times strange things happen in those rivalry games.
Oh, yeah.
Teams that aren't supposed to play with others sometimes find a way to do so we'll be ready.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Well, one thing that's a new wrinkle this year for Cesar-Valera is the fact that it appears you're going to be 1A, assuming that you get into the playoffs and you're on your way to do that. You would be looking at 1A this year in playoffs as opposed to one of the bigger classes, and that gives you a chance to do something.
Yeah, we're excited about playing schools our own size. The last couple of years we've had to go to Mount Carmel, hosted Greenville last year, and man, if a town has a Red Lobster in it, we don't think it's Cesar we need to be playing them.
That's a pretty good gauge there, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but you're right. You think around all the towns around here that don't have a Red Lobster, you're exactly right. So I like that. That's good. Hey, defensively, though, looking at your team so far this year, through 4 weeks, you've only given up 34 points through 4 weeks. That's pretty darn good. That's less than 10 points a game. You got to be happy about that.
Yeah, we appreciate the compliment there, Randy. We are happy with our defense, but the injuries that I listed last night offensively that hurt us so badly, well, guess what? Those kids played defense too. So it was a pretty. We had them shut out in the third quarter, and and JC just kept pounding at us. And I just really respect the way JC played us last night, and as hard as they played. And we lost just enough guys where they started moving the ball really well late in the third quarter, early in the fourth, and it got a little hairy there. It was 20-6, and they got the ball back, and it was kind of scary. I mean, I'm going to tell you. I mean, it was a good competitive football game.
Well, it appears that Johnson City has improved a lot just since week 1, from what we can tell from the scores and the stats and things. It looks like that Coach Thomas has got them coming on, getting stronger each week.
He does. They're getting better every week, and they won't go to the playoffs this year, I don't think, but he's setting the table for years to come.
Well, you're sitting at 4-0. Fairfield's at 4-0. You got Edwards County and El Dorado both sitting at 3-1, which is interesting. The Lions are having a good year so far. And then a pretty big game today down at Vienna, game between Chester and Vienna. That's kind of a must-win, really, for both those teams. It's a big game, isn't it?
It is. It is. Chester was on our radar to start the year, as was Vienna. We thought both teams could be playoff teams. So I might go down there today and check that one out.
Yeah, I could see that would be worthwhile to check out. Definitely. Yeah. Anything else surprise you about scores last night? That El Dorado Carmi game must have been a great one.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me, though. El Dorado's good, but Kurt Simon always has his Carmi team ready to play, and they have a good defense. They don't have a whole lot of experience back this year, but they've got a good scrappy defense, and they'll hold you in ball games. Well,
I understand Carmi came out and did a little double wing action last night, too, so they've shown a lot of different formations the way they're running the ball this year. Yeah,
they did some single wing against us in week 1 that kind of surprised us a little bit, old school single wing. So Kurt's very imaginative. If he has that, he'll spread you out. And if he, in years that he doesn't have the horses to do that, he will find a way to come to football next year as well.
Hey, you're pretty imaginative, too. You've been doing this a long time, so, you're very capable of having some new wrinkles out there, too, Coach. So
maybe it takes one to know one. I don't know.
Hey, you were talking about the fact that, the injuries that you had last night offensively both hurt you defensively, too. And that's the one thing about schools the size of Cicero-Valier. When you're in 1A, 2A football, it's tough because you have so many guys going both ways. And so when you do get an injury, it does make an impact on both sides of the football, doesn't it?
It does. That's why you work on your depth from day one. I mean, kids that aren't ready, they're going to have to play anyway. It's a war of attrition, so you work on your depth every single day. And hopefully it pays dividends in the end.
Well, I mentioned earlier that you had 6 different guys carry the football last night due to the injury, but I would think that's got to build some confidence as well as some experience with those guys getting in there and doing that last night, and hopefully that bodes well as you move on to Week 5.
We sure hope so, Randy.
Yeah, definitely so. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time this morning. Congratulations on the win. I'm sorry to hear about the injuries. I hope that those guys are able to get back into action here soon, and best of luck as you prepare for your Week 5 opponent down at Christopher, all right?
All right, man. Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. That is Coach John Shadowens of the Cicero-Valier Red Devils, and, I'm excited for them, the fact that they're actually going to be able to play a 1A football this year, assuming they make the playoffs, and they're well on their way, being at 4-0. But, boy, some tough injuries last night. Might have lost one of their key players for the season with a broken foot. Hate to see that, really do. But hopefully they can get these other guys with the ankle sprains back. But, good win for them last night against a Johnson City team that seems to be improving. 26-12, Cicero-Valier wins it. Again, they're 4-0. Fairfield's 4-0. Edwards County is 3-1. El Dorado's 3-1. Big battle today between Chester and Vienna, too, which will make an impact in the standings as well. And, again, you can take a look at all the scores from all the games and all the standings and the conferences on our website at AreaSports.net. Speaking of scores, we went through the scores earlier of the South Central Conference, and the reason why we do that and we talk about those teams and give those scores is because almost every year a team like Fairfield that's in the playoffs will end up drawing a team from the South Central Conference in the Class 3A playoffs. So those teams that are playing 3A football at the end of the year, like Fairfield, more than likely they seem to draw a team from the South Central Conference. We've seen it happen time and time again. They've played Vandalia, they've played Staunton, they've played Greenville. And so it's pretty important to pay attention to those teams, those games, and those scores, which is part of what we do here. So you can see those as well on our website at AreaSports.net. Hey, we're going to shift gears here in just a moment, and we are going to be talking some cross-country with Coach Clint Turner of Mount Vernon, and we're going to talk some volleyball with Coach Jason Hall of Hamilton County. All that and more coming up here on the Sports Couch, so stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
This is your home for best Christian music.
WVYN, Blueford, Wayne City, Fairfield, Mount Vernon.
And now on Translator, W288CO Centralia, broadcasting at 105.5.
A service of Real Life Radio Foundation.
The best Christian music, 90.9 The Vine.
Accidents, it's part of life. But when an accident occurs with your car or truck, you can count on the professionals at Sesser Auto Body in Sesser. Whether you have a collision with a deer, a building, a parking post, or another vehicle, Sesser Auto Body in Sesser can restore your car or truck to look like nothing ever happened. That's why many people in Southern Illinois refer to Sesser Auto Body as the Collision Pros. We appreciate the underwriting support of Sesser Auto Body in Sesser.
Monthly financial support of local Christian radio is provided by Home Source Warehouse in Mount Vernon. Located 4 miles north of Mount Vernon on Route 37, Home Source Warehouse offers a warehouse full of quality furniture and mattresses with legendary service. Open Thursday and Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 3. You can find them on Facebook, and their website is homesourcewarehouse.net. Their phone number is 204-5515. Home Source Warehouse, where style is affordable.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jagger's Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jagger's Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home, and they will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon. And welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. We're trying to connect here with Coach Clint Turner of the Mount Vernon Rams cross-country team. They are in Olney getting ready to kick off a meet there this morning. I'm going to guess that he's probably got his ringer off, and he may be really right at about the start of the race. But hopefully we will connect with him here shortly. We had that set up for 9 o'clock, so we'll still try to connect with him here in just a moment. Want to remind you that you can check out scores of other sports, of course, on our sports website as well at AreaSports.net. Speaking of cross-country, Mount Vernon hosted their very first cross-country meet at the new school, at the new campus this past week. It was a quad meet with Centralia, Marion, Carbondale, as well as the Rams. The Orphans won that with a team score of 20, followed by Marion with 52, Mount Vernon 69, and Carbondale with 71. If we have a chance to talk to Coach Turner, we will obviously ask him about not only that race, but also find out exactly what that course entails, because I also do not know what that course entails yet, since it's brand new and first time it's ever been used out there at the new campus. Don't know how flat it is, if they're jumping over some creek beds or, what they're doing out there. So should be interesting to talk to him about that. Also, of course, you can keep up with soccer scores, tennis scores, golf scores, junior high baseball and softball scores, and, of course, volleyball scores as well on our sports website at AreaSports.net. A little bit later on, about 9:15, we are going to connect here with Coach Jason Hall of Hamilton County and talk to him about the volleyball program there at with the Lady Foxes. They've had a great week and a great season so far. And, in fact, they had no blemishes on their record this past week as they were able to pick up wins over Carmi and over El Dorado, as well as Galatia. And So we'll talk to him about that. And again, you can check those scores out on our sports website at AreaSports.net. In soccer this past week, Mount Vernon got a win over Salem 5-0. It was Carbondale over Centralia also by 5-0. And Jonesboro beat Massac County 5-1, and Breeze Mater Dei over Altamont 5-3, and Breeze Central over St. Anthony 3-0. In girls tennis, Flora got a win over Mattoon 7-2, Centralia over Mascoutah 9-0, and Carbondale over Marion 6-3. Also this week, Carbondale beat Benton 7-2, and Flora shut out Mount Vernon by a score of 7-0. So again, you can check out those scores as well on our sports website at AreaSports.net. Junior high baseball action, they're starting to move towards the regionals. End of the season, hard to believe. Junior high baseball, Flora beat Carmi 10-0, Salem over Selmaville 11-1, and Alvarado over Adams 14-13. Clay City beat Sisney 7-6, and Nashville over Pinckneyville 3-1. That's Salem bunch. Boys baseball team, junior high. That's Franklin Park School is what that would be. They are 12-0 on the season at last check, so they're having a great year there. Junior high softball action this past week. Carmi beat Flora 9-6. St. Anthony over South Central 1-0. Clay City beat Altamont 7-3. It was Carlisle over Flora 9-8. Nashville beat Pinckneyville 4-1. New Hope over Jasper 10-6. Fairfield over Albion by a score of 9-6, and then I think Flora beat Fairfield 15-5 in softball action as well. Again, you can check out all of those scores anytime you need to on our sports website at AreaSports.net. Still trying to connect here with Coach Clint Turner. Let's try to dial him up here live on the radio again and see what happens. Nothing like live radio here, is there? Makes a difference when I don't have Danny here to run interference for me. Hello? Hello? Hello, are you there? Yeah, we're still having problems to contact with Clint, so I'm sure that he's probably either right in the middle of the race or they're maybe having the coaches meeting right before the race that they're doing up there at Olney today. And so we may have to try to catch him again a little bit later on this half hour. Let's see here. I thought that was him calling in, but nope, it's not. All right, so what we'll do is we will take a short break, and we'll be right back and have more for you here on the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and on AreaSports.net.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Fairfield Memorial Hospital's Diabetes Education Program leads a diabetes support group on the first Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. in the Fairfield Memorial Hospital Medical Arts Complex Community Education Room. It is a great way to stay up to date on the latest diabetes news and talk with people who you would relate with. So join other people with diabetes in taking the proper steps in managing the disease. To learn more, contact me, Mary McCulley, registered nurse and Fairfield Memorial Hospital's certified diabetes educator at 847-8231.
Sometimes you need an attorney who can look out for your interest. Located just a short drive away in Mount Vernon, Olson & Reeves offer a free consultation to discuss your needs. Everything is discreet and confidential. At Olson & Reeves, they can provide you with consultation and assistance with traffic law and DUIs, estate planning, living wills, divorce, real estate contracts, personal injury and accidents, as well as medical malpractice. Call Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law in Mount Vernon at 316-7322.
Real Life Radio thanks Fairfield Printing and Graphics for their partnership in local Christian radio ministry. Fairfield Printing and Graphics Graphics offers custom sizing for banners and signs, as well as yard signs, corrugated signs, and metal signs. Fairfield Printing and Graphics also specializes in custom t-shirts, business cards, wedding invitations, hats, bags, and much more. They are located at number 5 Williamson Drive in Fairfield, and their phone number is 842-4048.
Alrighty, welcome back here to the Sports Couch, live on a Saturday morning. We are trying to connect here with Clint Turner, and we're playing phone tag here. He just tried to call me, and I tried to call him, and well, we'll try this again here, all right? Just a second. So we're trying to connect with him. Hey, connection with Clint Turner. He's on the phone direct from Olney. How are you, Clint?
Good. Enjoying the sunshine, and, boy, it's a nice northerly breeze. It's really nice out here this morning.
So it's actually fairly cool up there at Olney, the home of the White Squirrels?
Well, I don't know if I'd use the word cool, but it's nice.
All right.
But, yes, the home of the squirrels, and I haven't seen any yet.
Okay, well, so it's going to be a tolerable place to run today for the cross-country meet. How many teams are competing in this one today?
Oh, I didn't count, but I would say there's at least 20 to 25.
Oh, so this is a big invitational then.
Yeah, the old Aldi Invitational has been going on for, probably 30, 40-plus years. And we run at the college. I think originally it was run at the park, but now it's run at the college. And, flavor of teams that we don't see a lot of, but there's a sprinkle of, you see Benton and Herons here, but you see a lot of like Mattoon and Effingham's here. So you get a little bit of what we call a little northern flavor and southern flavor all mixed in. So it's a nice meat.
So does it weave its way around the OCC campus there or what?
Yeah, generally it's up in front. They got the big open field in the front of the building, and we use it, and then we kind of go south around a little tree line, but it's all, basically right here by the building.
All right. Well, you got to host your first home meet at the new campus, the new Mount Vernon High School campus this week. I know you got third out of the 4 teams that were there, but tell us about the course, because I have no idea what it's like yet. Is it flat? Are you jumping over creek beds or what?
Well, it's relatively flat. We run what we call the back 40 of the new school property. Literally, the start line is out the back gate. We got about a 1.25 mile loop that we use, and you run that twice. And it kind of goes around the ball diamonds, and there's a back field in the, what would that be, the far southwest corner of that property that most people don't even know is there, back behind the tree line. We use it for a big loop, and then we finish it on the track. Everybody comes in, it would be turn 2 of the track.
Oh, cool.
And you run the final 300 meters right to the common finish line like you would a track meet. So
okay.
I think it's fairly fan-friendly.
I was going to say, you can position yourself to where you could watch quite a bit of it then, I guess, right?
Yeah, there were a lot of people standing in the visitor side bleachers kind of looking to the west and got to see a large portion of the race. And I think we got a lot of positive. We got a few little things we'll probably have to tweak. We host the conference meet next month. But I think it's a good course.
Wow.
We're still trying to get some grass growing in places and modify some construction concerns. But it's running really well. Summersville Grade School is running their big meet there this morning as we speak.
No kidding.
So they've probably got. I painted down 30 boxes for them on the start line.
Awesome.
So that's a big meet for them, and I think hopefully it will be a good venue for them.
Yeah, so they have moved from the airport to the new campus at Mount Vernon Township High School. Great.
Yeah, so they just got a little more, got access to the building and things like that, and parking I think is a little better for them. It's a good. It's our facility in when it comes to track and now cross country, I think it's just going to be a real good spot. And I don't know, maybe down the road, is it a regional site for maybe cross country? And I've already had some coaches chirping at me, maybe a sectional site for track. But we'll see.
Well, good. Hey, that's a feather in your cap. That's great. You get to host the conference meet there later on. That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll have it this year and next. Our conference, you always go 2 years in a row with things. And all the conference coaches, we had 4 of them there Tuesday, and they all liked it. They were pleased with the course. So that's good.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, I'm sure Centralia had to be happy with it because they won the meet, right? So.
Hey, Centralia's running well. As well as everybody's running, our conference as a whole is very, very strong. Centralia's kind of the class of the field so far the first half of the season. Carbondale will come on. Marion's best runner, John Bruce, hasn't even been running. He's been nursing a hip injury.
Oh, really?
And they're still running, very, very well. So when they get him back, obviously they get a lot better. And our young group, I think, is coming along. It's just will be one of those days we run really, really well and still finish 4th at the conference meet. But, yeah, it seems to be going okay.
Well, run through your team right now and tell us who makes them up this year with the Rams.
Well, we're kind of sophomore heavy, but 2 seniors, Isaiah Bradshaw and Jay Reese, are our senior leaders. I mean, they've kind of been through all the battles and just kind of take us around and take these young guys around, and have done a really good job of kind of passing along the secrets and the routines of how we do things. Max Zinzalette is our junior, and he's kind of he had a stress fracture last year, so he missed a big part of about the back half of cross country and the first half of track. So he's just now getting himself back into a real good running shape. So he's coming. And then you look at that sophomore group where Malik Petty's and you got to give me names here. Eli Eplin's in there. Kevin Perkins. And who am I forgetting? Oh, Hunter Mays. So those 4 guys as sophomores are really kind of the 4 front runners when it comes race time. And they're running real close together, which is good. So we're just hoping that we can continue to improve. We need to run a little better second mile, which second part of the season, that's hopefully what you work on. But we're finishing strong, and the guys have a good work ethic. Everybody's doing what we need to do. So I just got to do my job and get them all here and keep them healthy, which we are, and we'll just kind of keep rolling with our team.
What time did you have to get on the bus this morning to head over to Olney?
Oh, really? I mean, well, it wasn't that bad. We left at 6:45, which that's not bad. I mean, we leave at 5:45 to go to Granite City, and that's just part of the deal in Southern Illinois. When you're going to go run, you got to get up and go. And so it's not bad.
Now, up on my video screen,
work every morning.
Yeah, sure. Up on my video screen, I put a team shot of your Rams, but I pulled this off the school website. Is that still the current team shot, or is that an older one?
You got me, babe. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
There should be probably 8 or 9 guys in that shot.
Might be a few more than that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys in that shot.
Yeah, that's old, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know where those other 4 or 5 guys are. They're not with me this year.
Okay. All right. Well, we apologize if we didn't have the right team shot up there, but we'll have to get that from Emily, I guess. All right. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. Well, what time's the race start today up there?
Girls are going to start at 9:30, so we're about 10 minutes away, and guys are right at about 10:15.
All right. Okay. Well, look out for the white squirrels today, all right?
We will. Hey, one year we were here, and there was actually one kind of traipsing his way through the parking lot, and I think the whole cross-country meet came to a stop. Everybody wanted to watch that white squirrel. So,
oh, yeah, it's rare.
So we're always on the lookout for them. Oh, yeah.
Very rare. And it's just so weird that they don't live anywhere else but there. You try to take them out of that habitat and get them to survive somewhere else, and they die. They don't live anywhere else but Olney.
Yeah, I tell the story many years ago, I don't know, probably about 2000, we were running the regional over here for cross country, and we came over during the week before just to kind of practice on the course, and National Geographic was here doing a study. There were like, I don't know how many scientists and all these crazy contraptions, and it was quite the deal, so it was funny.
Yeah, well, true story, and maybe somebody from Olney will tell you this, but true story, back when Richard Nixon was president of the United States, they took one of the white squirrels to the White House to show President Nixon at that time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, and my understanding is the white squirrel died somewhere on the way back because they took it out of its habitat. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, that's
I'll be darned.
That's one of the legendary stories of the white squirrels. Ask somebody there at Olney if they can tell you that story or not. So that's
all right. I will.
Yeah.
I'll ask Coach Gassman. He's been here forever.
Well, he ought to know that story then. Okay.
Yeah.
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 All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, and good luck today. All right.
Thanks, Randy.
All right. Take care. All righty. Bye-bye. That's Coach Clint Turner of the Mount Vernon Rams cross-country team, and big meet there today. 20-some-odd teams at the Big Olney Invitational, and pretty cool that the new course they have there at Mount Vernon Township High School will get to host the conference meet there for the next couple of years, and who knows, they might get to host a regional as well, so that's cool stuff. Hey, when we come back, we're going to connect with Coach Jason Hall, volleyball coach of the Hamilton County Lady Foxes, talk about how the season's going. That's coming up next. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Hamilton County Flooring on the south side of the square in McLeansboro offers a full line of flooring, cabinets, and countertops for your home or business. Countertops or showers are available in granite, quartz, corian, custom marble, or ceramic tile. Their showroom includes a complete line of flooring available in ceramic tile, cork, bamboo, hardwood, vinyl, laminate, and carpeting, including name brands such as Armstrong, Bruce, Marazzi, Mulligan, Shaw, and Tarkett. We thank Hamilton County Flooring in McLeansboro for their support.
Prominent Technologies in McLeansboro is an underwriting supporter of The Vine. Chad May and Prominent Technologies specialize in computer and laptop repair, IT system upgrades, virus protection software, digital security camera installation, and on-location consulting. Prominent Technologies are computer problem solvers, and they have a long list of satisfied customers. Their phone number is 643-7114, and they are located just north of the square in McLeansboro.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jagger's Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jagger's Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home. They will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon. Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. We have live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson live in studio. Danny's not with me today. He's out on the combine somewhere on the back 40 getting all the crops brought in, and so we will carry on today flying solo. And joining us right now is the head coach of the Hamilton County Lady Foxes volleyball program. That would be Jason Hall. Good morning, Jason. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty good today. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Well, thanks for joining us. And you're having a nice season so far with the Lady Foxes, and you just recently captured your 200th career victory as coach of the Lady Foxes, so congratulations.
Oh, thanks a lot. That was a pretty neat milestone to reach this year. We started out the year pretty solid. Had a little hiccup the first game of the year. Don't think we were ready to get rolling yet, but we recovered from that and have played some pretty good volleyball so far. Knocked off a pretty solid Carmi-White County team the other night. Played probably the best game we played all year. Had a good night, and I was able to pick up that 200th win the other night at El Dorado, and that's a pretty neat milestone to achieve. I've been blessed with a lot of talent over the last 10 years, and it's helped me get those wins. And I appreciate all those girls. But, yeah, it's been a pretty good year so far.
Well, you have had some great talent come through Hamilton County. There's been so many girls who have went on from your program and are playing or have played college volleyball. A lot of them, isn't there?
Yeah, I've had several, go on and play at the college level and been successful. Got one right now, Ramsey Clark, graduated last year. She's a Frontier playing. And another one, Dana Rubenecker, who was our conference MVP her junior and senior year. She went to Rend Lake for 2 years. She's helping with our program now. She's an assistant coach with us, and so she's back in the program. But
That's great.
I've had a lot of talent that was able to play at that league, and, that's a pretty neat thing for our program as well.
Yeah. Well, for those people who are watching our video stream feed right now on AreaSports.net, I've got a team picture of your girls up on the screen right now from the NCOE tournament earlier in the year, which you finished second place in that tournament. And that was a good competitive tournament that you knocked off everybody except the host school. But talk about that tournament.
Yeah, we had a pretty good tournament last week. Went in there, and we'd already played Thompsonville, and so we knew what they had, and they're tough. Defensively, as always, they're scrappy, dig the ball well, and they were tough to put away in that tournament. And El Dorado, who we played in conference, was in there as well. We weren't really sure. We played Carmine White County this summer a little bit. We knew they were going to be tough. They've got some good hitters, and we played with them well that night during the tournament. And then we went into the championship with NCOE, and I'm telling you what, NCOE is one of the best teams around. They may go the whole season without losing. They're that tough. Had a real good hitter even go down first game of the conference with an ankle injury, and they still were dominant. We gave them a heck of a set, the first set, and then the second set we just kind of they served some spot served on us a little bit, and we struggled a little bit and weren't able to get them. But man, they're a tough team. But I thought we played them well, gave them a good match, and had a good tournament. So I was pretty pleased with the girls that week.
Well, and you had two of the Lady Foxes make the all-tournament team at NCOE. I've got that picture up on the screen right now, so you had to be proud of that.
Oh, definitely. One of them was junior Grace Leakey. Grace is a real big softball player. I mean, softball's her sport, and she loves it. She breathes it. She travels in the summer, but she's just an all-around athlete. And she came in last week and just really played well, played solid to net, served well, and got recognized for that. And then the other one was senior Kaylee Dotson. And in my opinion, Kaylee's one of the best players in Southern Illinois. She's just a dominant natural volleyball player. And if we can get her to touch the ball at least once every time it comes over the net, we're doing good, and we're going to make something happen on the other side because she's just tough. She had an amazing game the other night here at home against Carmine White County. She had 16 kills, and she just when she gets a good set, she's going to put it down somewhere. She's going to make them have to give us another free ball to set something else up. She's that good, and she's possibly another one that we might see go on and play at the college level here in a few years.
Well, that's great. You are led by 4 different seniors this year. I've got a picture of them on the screen right now, Jason. So tell us about those 4 seniors.
Yeah, I've got 4 seniors this year. I just mentioned Kaylee. I've also got Corey Grev. She's much better. She started last year for me as well. This is her second year on varsity. And then there's Anna Miller. Anna also started for me on varsity last year, and she plays all the way around. She's left-handed, hits outside, got a nice serve. And then Sky Braden. Sky comes off the bench for me. She's my first sub to go in. She's defensive specialist in the back row. She's pretty quick, can read the ball well and get to it. Good group of 4 seniors, good leaders. They do a good job with these underclassmen, just encouraging them and showing them, what Lady Foxes volleyball is about. Those 4 experienced the regional win we had a couple years ago, and that makes them want to win every night, and they know what it's like to win, and so it just makes our program even stronger.
Well, you mentioned that you got the big win the other night over Carmi in 2 straight games, and looking at some other games from this matches from this past week, you also beat El Dorado in 2 straight. You beat Glacier in 2 straight. So, been a good week for the Lady Foxes volleyball program.
Yeah, we played some good volleyball this week. When you get I lost 3 solid seniors last year that just really were tough players. They didn't let nothing hit the floor. They wanted to touch the ball every time it come over the net. And they were all 3 starters on that regional team a few years ago. And so adjusting to not having those 3, it took us a few games. The girls realizing that, Captain Drone's not there to get the ball every time it comes over the net. We're going to have to move and have to cover. And they've adjusted to that. They figured that out now, and they're playing some pretty good volleyball. Last 2 games, we've looked solid. And I'm excited about that because we got a big game coming up on Tuesday night, conference game against Fairfield. Fairfield, probably one of the better teams, 2A teams in Southern Illinois. They won the Benton tournament a couple weekends ago, and they're going to be a handful. So we got to go over there to the Mule Barn, which is always tough to play in because it's hot, and put on a good show, and hopefully bring home a conference win on the road.
Well, you led me right into my next question, Jason, because, that rivalry between Hamilton County and Fairfield in volleyball has been big for many, many years, and you two have been battling it out for a conference championship for a long time. And is it going to come down to the Lady Foxes or the Lady Mules again this year in the Black Diamond?
I think it could come down to 3 of us. I think definitely we have an opportunity to win that this year. I think Fairfield definitely has an opportunity, and then you got to throw in Edwards County. We had several years there where Edwards County wasn't with us, so us and Fairfield battled it out every year. We either one of us won it outright, or we both shared it for about 6 years in a row there. And then Carmi did get one there in the middle of that, and then along comes Edwards County, and they've taken it the last 2 years. But I think we can play with them this year. I think Fairfield can play with them this year, and I think we're going to have some battles between the 3 of us. Conference is one of those things where you got to win your home games, and you got to steal a few on the road every year.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to win when it's this competitive. So we're hoping we've won all our conference games at home so far, and we're hoping to win next week on the road and get a win.
You mentioned Norris City having such a great season this year. Would you see them in postseason, or would they be in a different class?
No, they're 1A.
They're 1A, okay.
Yep.
I thought with their enrollment they might be, yeah. Okay. Okay.
They're a good team. They have a chance to make it all the way this year. I mean, they're just solid all the way around. They're tough.
Mm-hmm. In 2A, outside of the teams in the conference that you mentioned, like Fairfield, Edwards County, who else around the area concerns you the most that you might see down the road in perhaps postseason as well?
Well, we actually got the sub-sectionals last week. We're going to be in the meet in the sectional with teams like Newton and T-Town, which are probably the 2 best teams. In the other side, they're both tough. T-Town's huge. They're just massive girls, so they're going to be tough. Newton's a great team as well, so they're going to be good. If you go south, you're talking Pinckneyville, Nashville are pretty solid teams this year that will probably make it to the sectional. So some really good teams that we're going to have to see to make it back to here, because we will host the Super Sectional this year. Super Sectional will be at Hamilton County.
Oh, wow. That'd be nice to be playing in that in front of the hometown team, wouldn't it? Hometown
That
folks.
definitely would be, yeah.
Sure would.
We play well at home, so that would be nice to come back and be able to compete here.
Yeah. Well, Jason, again, we congratulate you on your 200th career win. Congratulations on a clean sweep week this week, a good week for the Lady Foxes, and best of luck as you prepare for that big match at the Mule Barn in Fairfield next week, okay?
All right, thanks. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, take care now. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
All right, you too. Bye.
That's Jason Hall, the head volleyball coach of the Hamilton County Lady Foxes. Yeah, looks like it's going to come down to the Lady Foxes, the Mules, and Edwards County Lady Lions as far as supremacy in the Black Diamond Conference is concerned in volleyball this year. And that'll be a big match Tuesday night at the Mule Barn between the Lady Foxes and the Lady Mules. Well, real quick before we get out of here, I want to talk some Major League Baseball. Cardinals, of course, lost last night 3-0 to the L.A. Dodgers. The Cardinals have lost 3 in a row now. The Dodgers have won 3 in a row, and going into today's action, the Cardinals and Dodgers are deadlocked. They're in an exact tie for the second wild card spot in the National League. Now, there's 14 games left on the schedule for the Cardinals. Besides these 2 games that they have, coming up here with the Dodgers today and tomorrow, they've got 3 games at Atlanta. They've got 3 games at home against the Giants, 3 games at home against the Brewers, and 3 games at home against the Cubs. So they're playing some tough competition. However, when you look at the schedule, out of the 14 games that are left, only 3 of them are on the road. 11 of them are at home. So if the Cardinals can play good baseball at home like they should, they should get in this thing. But they've really got to take care of business today and tomorrow against the Dodgers. That was a tough loss yesterday as the rookies stymied them again and shut them out 3-0. That rookie has had like 15 scoreless innings against the Cardinals this year. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But and they scored 7 runs on Thursday night and were not able to win as they lost 9-7. And so got to get the bats going today. That's an early start today. It's a 12:05 game today at Busch Stadium, by the way, and then they'll play again tomorrow. The Mark McGwire bobblehead day is tomorrow. So if you're going to the game on Sunday, yep, they're doing those Mark McGwire bobbleheads on Sunday. And then again, they'll go on the road to Atlanta for 3 games, back to Busch Stadium for the final 9 with 3 against the Giants, 3 against the Brewers, and 3 against the Cubs. So there's a whole lot to be decided yet, not only in the National League Central standings, but also in the wild card race. The only team really competing against the Cardinals right now for that second wild card spot is the Dodgers, because Arizona is about 4 games off the pace. So these 2 games against L.A. are huge today and tomorrow. So you'd love to see the Cardinals win these 2 and send L.A. out of town, 2 games behind the Cardinals in that wild card race. But they gotta get the bats going, that's for sure. All right, well, that's all we've got today. We're out of time on the Sports Couch. Appreciate everybody joining us, whether you were listening on the radio or watching the video stream on AreaSports.net. We'll be back again next Saturday morning at 8:30 for 60 minutes of great local sports talk. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net. Have a great weekend, everyone. So long.